Good evening, I'm Vinita from BriBooks, and today I have a very young author, Saanidhya. She's written The Ancient Grome Emperor, uh, a third best-selling book from our Master Teller League. So, Saanidhya, congratulations. How do you feel about this winning honor?
I feel very proud. I didn't think I would stand in the third place nationally. When I wrote a book, I hardly thought two or three copies would sell, but I'm very proud that 157 copies were sold. And I'm very
That's
grateful for my parents who made it happen.
Wow, that's incredible achievement, and I'm curious to know that uh, what do you think, is the best approach for writing a story like this, which the reader is interested to read, right? So please tell us about your story, The Ancient Grome Emperor, and take us to the journey of writing, publishing, and making it the best three amongst the first three best-selling books.
When you write a book, you think about something very particular. Think about something very vivid, very which is not, if you are writing a fictional storybook, think about your dreams or think about the books you have wrote. So when you think about those, you come up with an idea which will give you an particular reason to write your books. So I took the inspiration from the books I've read until now, and I wrote this book called The Ancient Grome Emperor. So when I first started writing this book, I didn't know what to write, or I didn't know how I can even take this to the next level. But as I wrote, I understood how the feeling should be in that book, how the book should be written, and all the mistakes which I had done. These help a lot to write my next book. And publishing it is just a very great achievement.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, tell us, the journey of Tim, Antonia, Emma. Uh, what is the, story of your book? And I when I read, I also felt there were very good clues that you keep building for the reader to continue to, keep reading your book. So tell us a little about that also.
Tim and Emma are siblings. So their parents had died protecting the world. For they didn't know what they died for. As they found out that Antonia, their grandmother, who was supposed to be a maid, was a dark magic performer and was related to the ancient emperor Hamilton. Hamilton was a very cruel emperor who killed many emperors, and he ruled the world very cruel way. He had so much cruelty in him, people hated him. But some of the people worshipped him, which made him possess him by a pendant. So this book is the journey of Emma and Tim, how they overcome the situation, and how they overcome this, and how they fight against the ancient powers, and how they finally bring world peace.
So tell me, in your story, you started with the grandmother, who's uh, who's no more there, right? But the idea
Yeah.
of bringing her back was something very interesting. So tell me, how did you work around your characters? Uh, did you find any difficulty in, placing a character in particular situation? Uh, what all did you do? Did you discuss your characters with your friends, family? How did you, you know, get help in building your story? Were there moments of challenge and difficulty where you felt you needed to put some more, you needed to do something more with your characters to, continue to, build the story in the most interesting manner that you wanted?
So, like, I didn't know what names to keep for my characters. So I just grabbed characters' names from the movies I've seen or the books I've read. So the fact that bringing the Grandma Antonia back to life, I didn't know like how when I just started writing and it just came to my mind, I wrote it. So when I started writing many pages, I realized how I should write it. I found the difficulty and how to explain how she came. But as I wrote, it just came to my mind and I just started writing. And for the characters' situation or how they have placed something, me and my friend are writing a book. So I took inspiration from that. I discussed it with my sister and my family. They helped me a lot.
Um, Also, I wanted to show some more interesting facts about, the you have used the three interlocking triangle, in the story. You have also
Yeah.
chosen a date called date which is August 15th, right? As an alignment date. So tell me, it was all just, something that you wrote because you were in a flow, or there are these things are significant. Uh, uh, you have some, attachment to these particular, objects that you have used, write your story, build
Yeah,
your story.
the first date which I mentioned was June 13th,
Yeah.
which is my close friend's birthday. And July 7th is a very special day because two of my cousins are born that day and they're very close to me.
Okay.
September 13th is the day which is the next day which my grandmother and grandfather died. So I thought it would be nice to put it.
So
And the
that's
next date was August 15th, which was our Independence Day, India's Independence Day. So I thought these dates would bring some significance to this book. So I mentioned these dates.
that's great. Uh, Tell me also one thing that Hamilton, he feared the silver and gold. First because you have, silver and gold key. So did you get this idea from something that you had read? How did you, manage to like place this element of story, this particular object, and uh, was it difficult for you to build Hamilton's character, show, express the feelings he was undergoing? Was it difficult, or was it like natural? You kind of felt, oh yes, this was easy.
It was pretty much natural to me, and I took this inspiration from Roman and Greek. So Roman used to use imperial gold to kill monsters, and Greeks used to use celestial bronze. So why not Hamilton fear silver and gold like monsters? So he has some weakness. So I
Okay,
chose these two precious metals that he would face to fear.
okay, okay. Uh, was writing, completing your story, the end part of it, uh, it came automatically to you, all the, things that you wanted to resolve in the story happened in one go, or did it take time, or did you take breaks in story while you were writing, and then thought change, improvise? How was your, writing methodology?
So it helped me write this book more imaginary. So people who are reading can imagine it in their minds. So this book doesn't have any pictures because I want the reader to imagine themselves rather than taking pictures and relying on one picture. This story brings their imagination level to another level. So I want the reader to experience all of these, and it was a bit hard as it was my first time writing a book. So yeah.
But it was very well tried, attempted, have written a good book. So tell me, since you said that it was not that easy, you did take breaks and improvise and thought through how you want the story to really feel. Uh, you kept readers in mind that they should really work on the imagination part rather than having a very easy flow of story for them to understand. So tell me, I mean, I'm sure when you had you must have shared this book, you sold the book. So what was the reaction, and any one reaction that is your favorite or most exciting or strange from a reader so far? Any feedback?
So one of the reader, one of the reader said she really loved this book because it brings her imagination into reality. The book brings imagination in her head, which makes her think more creatively. I was really amazed and I was really proud of myself that readers can actually imagine things, and I really love the way they experience their feelings too.
It is rather a very incredible skill to have, a document or a writing or an article or a story where you are not allowing any picture to be there for them to understand, because you kind of sometimes people read through pictures also, they're not reading much uh, about the materials. So but this is one of the most I would say difficult and most beautiful skill. If you write something and somebody can imagine it, somebody can make a picture in their mind. So hats off to you for trying um, your abilities to really help the reader achieve that. Also, I want to know one more thing. Your book is the third best-selling book of Master's League. So, has anything changed in you as an author?
Yeah, I started to write more books. Like, I didn't write any books till now. I only read books but didn't write anything. This I'm very grateful for BriBooks for giving me a platform to write books, and it has made me into a creative and imaginary person. So it allows me to think creatively, which will help me in my studies or art or anything.
So, Sanadya, what advice would you give to a new author who wants to publish, and sell their first book?
So I would advise them to think freely, write whatever they want. They can make the changes later, but let their feelings be shown through the book. So just bring your imagination into reality where others can read and appreciate your work.
And any message that you like to uh, give, or you want your reader to take from the story, any value, anything that you feel is worth pondering upon?
So never give up hope. Always believe in yourself and never think you cannot do it, because you can, but you have to bring that potential out of yourself. So when you bring your potential out of yourself, you can really show who you are even when the others don't notice. You can prove to yourself who you are, but It doesn't care about the society. You just want to show who you are to yourself. You want to bring that energy out of yourself. So always believe in yourself, keep hope.
And on this, powerful message, never to give up, always to believe in yourself, and not to bother much about what others would say. If you are right and if you're doing a great work, then you need to focus on it and believe in it. So, Sanadhya, uh, it was great talking to you, and it was even more interesting to, get to know you on this podcast, understand what an author's journey is like, and what goes on in an author's life when they're writing a book. Uh, uh, so, I really want to congratulate you, and I really want you to write many, many more books and
Thank
keep
you, ma'am.
winning, keep, creating.
Thank you, ma'am.